By this point in the course, you understand the protection stack, you've seen how to estimate sensible cover amounts, and you've seen how the Premium Freedom Blueprint and the Health Wealth Loop work in 7-year and 12-year versions. Now the natural question is, where do I start from my situation? Because broadly, you fall into one of two camps. Either you already have some health insurance, or you are more or less starting from scratch. This video is about making the blueprint usable for both groups without confusion. I want you to see clearly that you do not have to cancel everything you have and start from zero. In most cases, this work is about restructuring and integrating, not restarting. Let's begin with you if you already have some health insurance. Maybe you bought a personal policy a few years ago. Maybe you have a corporate cover through your employer. Maybe you have a mix of things and you are not fully sure what is what. The first thing I want you to do is relax and resist the urge to throw everything out. A lot of value often lies in continuity. If you have been covered for several years, you may have already completed waiting periods for pre-existing conditions and certain procedures. If you cancel blindly and start a new policy for no good reason, you can lose that benefit. So if you are an existing policyholder, your first step is to understand what you already have. Take a simple sheet of paper and write down, for each policy, the insurer, the type of cover, the sum insured, whether it is individual or family floater, and the premium. If you have access to the policy document, note any major things you are aware of, like room rent limits or co-pays. Do the same for your employer cover if you have one, but mentally mark employer cover as a bonus, not as the main pillar. Corporate policies can change or vanish quickly when you change jobs. Once you know what you already have, the next question is, do I keep this, upgrade it, or restructure around it? If your existing base health policy is from a reasonably solid insurer, has a fair sum insured, and does not come with nasty surprises like very tight room rent caps or huge co-pays, the default answer is usually that you keep it. You can then add a super top-up to reach the total cover suggested by the calculator instead of buying a completely new large base policy. This is almost always more economical and respects the continuity you've already built. If, on the other hand, your existing policy is genuinely weak for your needs, for example, the cover is very low for a metro family, or the fine print is full of restrictions that make claims difficult, then we look at upgrading or porting, not just tolerating it. Upgrading could mean increasing the sum insured with the same insurer. Porting means shifting to another insurer while trying to carry your continuity benefits with you. These decisions are a bit technical and are best handled in discussion during your Premium Freedom Planning call, because they depend on age, health history and claims experience. The important message here is that we treat your existing policies as raw material. We don't assume everything must be kept, and we don't assume everything must be thrown away. We use them intelligently. Once that basic decision is made, keep, upgrade, or change, we then integrate your existing or revised premium into the Premium Freedom Blueprint. The total yearly premium for your chosen covers, including any new super top-up, personal accident and critical illness policies, becomes the premium number, around which we design your Premium Freedom SEEP. That means you do not have to wait to finish some big overhaul before you start the blueprint. You can often start the SEEP alongside your current policy while we plan upgrades or restructuring in a phased way. The structure remains the same, you commit to funding both your premium and your SEEP for 7 or 12 years, and the corpus is designed to take over later. The only difference is that you are starting with a policy history instead of from a blank slate. Now let's talk about you if you are more or less starting from scratch. Maybe you never bought personal health insurance. Maybe you only have a small employer cover and nothing else. In that case, your first job is not to worry about SIPs. Your first job is to choose the right protective gear. Using what you have learned in earlier videos and with the help of the required cover calculator or the Google form, you decide what kind of base health cover, super top-up, personal accident and critical illness amounts make sense for your family and your city. You will not get it perfect on day one, but you will be much closer to reality than random guesswork. Once you're clear on those target covers, you start implementing them step by step. Often the sequence looks like this. First, you secure a decent base health policy in your own name and for your family if applicable. Immediately after, or even at the same time, you add a super top-up to reach the total health cover you need. Then you add personal accident and critical illness covers at amounts that make sense for your income and stage of life. You do not have to finish this entire list in 1 week, but you should not take years either. The aim is to make your protective kit reasonably complete as soon as is practically possible. As soon as you know the total yearly premium for this ideal or near ideal structure, you plug that number into the Premium Freedom Blueprint. That premium amount, along with your age and income, tells us what kind of 7-year or 12-year SEEP we should design. If your income is strong and your responsibilities are fewer, you may be comfortable committing to the higher SEEP required for the 7-year version. If your cash flow is tighter or you are starting a bit later, the 12-year version may feel more sustainable. In either case, you follow the same pattern you saw in the earlier videos. During the contribution window, your income funds both the premium and the SEEP. After that window, the corpus is meant to fund the premium. The key thing I want you to take away from this video is that the blueprint bends to your starting point. If you already have policies, we refine, restructure and integrate them. If you have nothing, we build the structure from the ground up and then wrap the blueprint around it. At no point am I asking you to cancel everything blindly and start over just because we are working with a new framework. That would waste the continuity you may have built and may even make you uninsurable in some cases if health conditions have appeared since. In your Premium Freedom Planning call, we will go into your specific situation. We will look at your current covers, your premiums, your calculator outputs, your age, your income, and your comfort with risk. Together, we will decide whether the right move is gentle restructuring or a more serious overhaul, and whether your path is closer to the 7-year or the 12-year version. For now, I just want you to see clearly that wherever you are starting from, there is a version of this blueprint that can work for you. You are not too early, you are not too late, and you do not have to choose between being underprotected and being overwhelmed.